You can take some seats. Okay, thank you to all of you to spend 1 hour with us Saturday afternoon. So my name is Thierry. Later on, I'm going to introduce myself quickly. Make sure you're attending the right course, right? It's about design thinking. There are quite a number of courses at NUS now. We're going to have 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. So please keep your question for the end. And we can have a good 15 to maybe 15 minutes kind of Q&A. Okay, so I believe that you have heard about design thinking somehow, somewhere. But design thinking for the past 15 years to 20 years has become one of the key things, maybe my phone, has been quite popular in terms of methods for innovation. I'm going to explain to you later on why I use these pictures. And I'm going to share with you something, the good news for you. But quickly, I'm a founder and principal of Atelier Models. So we have been working with many companies by using design thinking. And at the same time, I'm teaching part-time at SMU, School of Business, and at NUS. With NUS, I've been here for almost 14 years. SMU, School of Business, for almost 5 years. Right? And currently, I'm a trainer, facilitator for SMU Academy, where we are teaching design thinking courses, I think for the past 5 years. I think we have trained more than 1,000 kind of participants. And I love to be close to the kids. So time to time, I volunteer myself to help some of the school of design, Singapore Poly. Recently, last year, I was one of the jurors for the Singapore Good Design Mark for customer experience. And a couple of years ago, I was the first appointed design thinking mentor by IMDA. So my role was basically to coach startups to employ and use this methodology called design thinking. I have around 30 years of experience. I can see some gray hair, so I'm very happy. I'm also a lot of gray hair. And my background is in industrial design and system engineering. I moved to Singapore almost 20 years ago, so I can consider this as my home. I'm a French, so I'm basically from Paris. So before setting up my agency, I was working previously for the Design Singapore Council. So in 2010, the entire government wanted to push design thinking in the market, in the industry. And we have set up this National Design Thinking and Innovation Academy. And for 4 years, basically, we have trained more than 6,000 people. And I'm quite glad that Skill Futures are still funding those programs because we need more and more design thinkers. Okay. So what we do for Atelier Models, we are more a strategic design company focusing on what we call human-centered design. And the entire concept of design thinking, it is very based on human-centered design. So later on, I can share with you more in detail about what do we mean by being human-centered design. Right? For us, we always start first by understanding the need of a user. So this is one of our projects for SBS Transit. I believe that you guys have taken the bus before. And the key goal of this project was how might we enhance the experience of a bus captain. SBS Transit have around 7,000 bus captains, and we use this app basically to check in, check out, basically to look at the bus condition. And what we have done here is we went to observe them, shadow them, truly understand the journey, the pain point, and design basically a better, so to speak, app for them to improve better the day-to-day kind of life. But for us, I think meaning it is the most important. I know that we are all doing business. Business is always business. But we would like to argue that without meaning, you can't have a very solid business. The key goal of design thinking is truly understand what truly matters to the end user and deliver this solution to this end user. And part of the entire process of design thinking, it is very about collaboration. We always involve clients team, different departments, different divisions to come together into ideas. The pictures you can see here are our first client, I think 10 years ago, 11 years ago, Singapore Pools, the lottery. I'm not sure if you guys are playing lottery, but the entire goal was how do we improve the player experiences and how do we basically merge the offline experiences and the online experiences. So the pictures you can see here are basically many, many people across the entire organizations coming together and ideate. And this is the power of design thinking. We bring people from different expertise in the same room, and we basically find the best solution for the end user. Because of this collaboration, we are not working in a silo. And this is the power of design thinking. Okay. The third thing is true about prototyping. And this is where, for us, we truly enjoy this phase because we do a lot of prototype. And when we say prototype, it's not high-end kind of a prototype. It's very cheap and low fidelity prototype. So for this project, it was for Mitsubishi Electric in Japan. I know that they're quite famous here for the aircon, but we do have a lot of products beyond aircon. So what we can do here is, when you design technology, it is very hard basically to, spend money because the technology doesn't exist yet. So we use this one prop, 3D printing, poster, storyboarding, just to explain to the end user what this new technology can do for the day-to-day. So prototyping, it is one of the key principles of design thinking. Okay? So we have been, so to speak, lucky to be able to work with a wide-ranging industries, from aviation, Changi Airport, to school education. So currently we are working with a Raffles Girls School, still using design thinking. We've been working with MOE, Kopitiam, and later on I can share with you some example about what we have done for Fair Price. I'm pretty sure that you guys are shopping at Fair Price. We have changed totally the entire form. Right? It become now a place where you truly want to hang out, you truly want to spend time, and so on and so forth. And we have been always using design thinking. Right? So this picture shows that design thinking can be used across different industries. I think this is very important because of this user-centric approach. The good news for you today is, you may have heard about this terminology, but for me, I believe, and this is a bold statement, we are all design thinkers at heart. Believe it or not, we are all design thinkers at heart. It's just that we have forgotten basically the key principle. And let me share with you why. I grew up in Paris. This is AI pictures, but my area in Paris was something like this. Some of you who are quite young, you may not have this game here. I believe that you guys use iPad or iPhone. But during my time in 1970, we spent a lot of time outdoors with kids. We play together, we collaborate together, we argue. We were super creative. If you remember correctly during your time, we truly explored, we truly imagined, we truly collaborated, and we truly created wonderful stuff. Yeah. Don't if you remember again, but to me, I love to play here. And when you are in this playground, you want to create friends. So what do? You start to talk to other kids. Hey, what do you want to play? The empathy. You ask the question to someone that you don't know, what do you want to play? It's a natural way for us to understand the needs of the end user. This is basically the first key tenet of design thinking. Once we know how to play, we started to be very imaginative and creative. Suddenly, the sliding become a fortress, the swing become the launch pad, many everything things become, the gel, the alien terrain, the control station. We were super creative. And I dare to say that all of you, including myself, we are creative by heart. Very important, right? And of course, we assign role. And this is very powerful because when you play as a kid, you try to understand that you can't do things. And we truly assign role because each of the role complement something. And this is the foundation of design thinking, collaboration. Simple as this. Right? So if you look carefully, when you started to ask the kids, what do you want to play? It is basically the discovering phase. And this is the first part of the design thinking. Once we agree about, look, let's play this game, we started basically to define who is who. Oh, you have a navigator, you have a villain, I'm a captain. This is basically defining each of the role and how do we play together. Simple as this. The third one, and this is where we started to be very, very creative. We started to develop many, so to speak, playground. The fortress, the launchpad, we all ideated. Super creative. And of course, at the end, you deliver the play you truly enjoy. Sometimes it doesn't really work well. Okay, let's restart. Now I'm not the villain, you are the villain. We iterate about. And this is basically the key tenet of design thinking. So what I'd like to say here is, don't be scared about terminology that we use for design thinking. We are all design thinkers by heart. Somehow, somewhere, we have forgotten basically how to use what basically we have used to do when we were young. We can't find any more explorers in the corporate world. And to me, I found that this is something that we should really look into. Okay? So now with this background, imagine we were all born as a kid. We were all born with this exploration mindset. When we start to work, unfortunately, we have a role to fulfill, we have a salary, pay scale. Our mindset started to shift into what we call execution. We are all executors. We have a KPI, time frame, budget, we just execute. We receive an order, we just execute. But what's happening here in today's context, it doesn't work anymore. Why? Because other people can execute things better than you and cheaper than you. So for the past 15 years, companies started to look, having this execution mindset, being engineer or MBA, business consultant, is no longer enough. We have to go back into this exploration mindset and combine basically this execution. This is what we do best because we are paid to do that. But to combine this with this exploration mindset. And design thinking is a tool, is a mindset, is a method that helps you basically to go back into this exploration mindset. And the good news is we all know how it works. UBMS, right? So I would like to zoom out a little bit to explain to you why for past 15 years, thousands and thousands of companies have been embracing design thinking. You know, if you look at the business cycle of any businesses, you always start as a startups, right? And of course, you move into this maturity phase. Any company now are in the maturity phase. Your key goal here is how do you prolong this maturity phase forever? By having new products, new services, and so on and so forth. Some company can't manage to do that, unfortunately, and this is what we call a decline, right? So the role of any companies is how do you extend your maturity phase? How do you avoid this decline phase? And there are many methods besides innovation. Who can tell me what companies can do without innovating? Anyone? And still maintain this maturity phase? Anyone? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Sorry? Oh, this is very aggressive. Yeah, you can kill your competition by buying over those companies or by reducing your price, and you can do many things. Yeah, acquisition. Yeah, yeah. Anybody else? Oh, but they're also in danger now, correct? So many people basically are in danger. Other methods besides killing the competition, what else can you do besides ecosystem? Yeah, you can truly collaborate, create ecosystem, build your what we call this kind of a moat where it is so hard for any new entrants to compete with you. You can do so many things, right? But you know, it requires, so to speak, a lot of effort. Sorry? Yeah, correct. So there are many, many ways, right? But if you look carefully over the years, companies, basically us, all of us, we have been moving from this exploration mindset to execution. What does it mean? Many people now working for organization, they have lost, so to speak, this capacity to explore. So now the question is, you want to explore new horizon, new market, but you don't have any more this capacity here. You are in big trouble, right? And that's why I would like to share with you this case, and I love this case. I don't know if you used this pen before. There are few company, and I'm not sure if this is the only one company in the world that can survive without any innovation. I use this pen since I was a kid, 6 years old, so it's almost 50 years ago, and I'm still used to that. Right? Can you imagine from 100 billion pen, and we're still selling the same pen for the past, 50, 70 years. Amazing. The story of this pen is quite amazing because it has been created by this Hungarian called Laszlo Biro. He was just observing kids playing marbles, the small marbles. I don't know if you guys used to play this, but I used to play this as well. This to show how old am I. And he was basically observing kids playing marbles. And when you see the marbles rolling on the puddle, we leave basically trails of water, right? And the bureau said, hey, what if we convert this fountain pen and we have the same principle, having this small ball that can capture the ink and you can write basically. Unfortunately, during the Second War, they migrated to, him and his brother migrated to Argentina, and the businesses didn't fly, right? One guy in Paris, basically he has similar ideas. He was manufacturing fountain pen. I don't know if you guys used before fountain pen. During my time again, in my school days, in my small table, wooden table, we used to have this small pot of ink, and we use still the fountain pen, right? And we use this paper to absorb the ink. This to show very, very how old. Right? But this guy, they look, this is a better way basically to do that. And he started to he bought over the patent from these two brothers, went to Switzerland to improve the technology. Right? You can imagine, for more than 70 years or 50 years, they are still producing the same. But this pen is more than just a pen for me as a kid, because as a kid, we use the cap to build a rocket. So you can imagine you have red, green. It was a wonderful pen for us, not only to write, but to play as well. Right? And not only this, because of the design, yeah, to show so how old am I didn't have these MP3 players, sorry to say this. I used to have this old cassette, right? If you look at the cassette here, this then teeth, because of the hexagon shape, normally you listen to tape before, a lot of things that's really troublesome is the band always mess up, right? And you have to rewind, right? And this pen, it is the only pen in the world, right? And you can put inside and truly rewind nicely, right? Amazing, correct? And of course, as a kid, we used to take off the ink in the top, and we use this as a blow gun as well. Small paper in the classroom, and we like to play. So this pen, can you imagine, just one invention, and it still exists today. I'm not sure how many companies can claim to have one product that can basically exist for so many years. I don't think there are a lot. Okay. So for all of us, unfortunately, we have to do something else. Right? And in companies, survival here, it doesn't really work anymore. You will have to truly boost your product and services and truly transform yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be basically disrupted. And that's why companies need to truly embrace exploration again. And usually every 5 to 10 years, or maybe shorter. And now with AI, we have to truly basically wear the exploration hat and truly explore better. Okay? And this is where basically exploration mindset come in again. And that's why for past 15 years, I can say 20 years, this curve here is to truly increase the capacity of exploration mindset of employees. And that's why design thinking has become very, very important for many organizations. Okay? And design thinking can truly help to do that as a method. Okay? So far, so good. Okay. How many of you still use last time or have used, can I ask, fountain pen before? Right? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All the old ones, right? It was quite fun, right? But since this, by the way, they were the first one to produce this pen where you can basically throw one one use kind of things. It was quite a revolutionary kind of invention. Okay. Okay, so set the background. But what's happening now for the past, I think, 15 years again, many companies have been training the staff by thousands and thousands. If you look at those numbers, IBM, 200,000 staff. DBS, it is the largest, or it is the only bank in the world who has the largest number of employees trained in design thinking. We started the journey in 2010, and they have been, training the employee since, and this is quite amazing. It is kind of continuity. But look at the numbers, Fujitsu 130,000 is huge, and this cut across all industries. And again, it truly shows the needs basically for you to gain this exploration mindset again. Very, very important. So why company basically embrace design thinking? And again, I did share with you previously, is this kind of collaboration mindset. Again, those who are old enough like me, last time we used to work alone or within single discipline teamwork. Design thinking truly brings people from different expertise across your entire organizations to come together and to work on one typical. And because of this, it truly gives teams the power to solve what we call wicked problem. You have everyone in the same room, you can truly solve everything. And this is the power of design thinking, right? And because of this, it helps companies to shorten, so to speak, the time to market. Why? You have everyone in the same room, you can make quick decision, you can ideate, you can agree on the direction, you can agree on the technicality, you can truly speed up. A typical design thinking process for us, from the start to the end, is about 3 to 4 months. Sometimes you can extend to 5 months. But within these 3 to 5 months, we do a lot of iteration. We go back to user quite often. So it really helps companies basically to be agile and to be basically faster. Okay? And of course, the entire process focuses on the user. It is so easy during the entire innovation process to tend to forget the user and to move into features. We are all executors, right? You all have your own expertise. One guy come in and say, hey, we have to add on these features. Another one say, hey, can we add on this communication channel? It's very features based. And by doing that, we tend to forget what truly user. So the entire focus of design thinking is always going back to user. Is it what they truly need? If not, don't do that. Very important. Okay? So I'm not sure if you have read some article about design thinking, but it's not posted on the wall. Okay? Don't be surprised or don't be alarmed or amazed with so many post-it. I always carry one stack with me, but it's not just posted on the wall. Right? What is important here is design thinking at the end of the day, it is a very, very structured innovation process. We always basically document everything. We truly bring different expertise in the same room. We ideate and we go back to the user all the time. In short, design thinking, it is a structured innovation process. It is a collaborative innovation process, and it is basically an iterative innovation process. These three tenets or principles are the most important key characteristic of these methods, and that's why many organizations want to embrace design thinking. And of course, it focuses on the deep knowledge. And the deep knowledge here is very, very important. It's not surface knowledge. We truly deep dive. We truly go to people's home. We truly understand basically the user inside out. I think this is a very, very important. But something that, again, I would like to reiterate is a structure. We document everything. There's our approval process. Everything is very well structured. Very, very important. Okay. So we are going to use this model. It's called the double diamond model from UK Design Council. Right? There are two colors or two blocks, so to speak. One is basically problem space, and one is a solution space. My advice to you as an explorer, spend more time in the problem space. And once we are sure that you have the right problem to solve, go into the solution space. Unfortunately, when you work for organization, time is money. And a lot of time, they tend to rush this phase here. So the blue square becomes small, and you move into this solutioning because you have those expertise to solve the problem. But it defeats the purpose of being human. So my advice again, do spend a lot of time in the problem space. Make sure that you have uncovered the right problem. Okay? So the first diamond, that's why it's called the double diamond. It is where we diverge. And diverge, it is very important because we want to truly understand the user inside. We truly want to open up our eyes and hearts to truly understand basically what are the real needs of the user. Once we understand this, and this is basically the first diamond, okay, let's move into the solution. And solutioning is also a diamond where the first divergence, we truly explore ideas broadly. So a lot of time when we conduct workshop, co-creation workshops, we truly generate around 100 to 200 ideas. And it is kind of volume that we need. Why it is important? Because at this stage here, your divergence is not looking for the right idea. It's to look for many, many potential opportunities. And again, because of time constraint, companies tend to make it this first diamond very narrow, and we move quickly into solution. So that's why the power of this double diamond is to make sure that when you diverge well. So the first phase, of course, discover. And the true meaning discover is remove your blinkers and truly understand the user by heart. Once you understand the user needs, wants, and desire, there's so many. Define allow you to focus on what truly matters. You can't solve everything, but you can focus on what truly matters to you. And basically develop and focus, put your entire resources to basically solve this issue. Once you are done this is why we have defined the right problem to solve. We develop, and this is where we diverge, look for many, many wide-ranging ideas. And again, 100, 200, even though more. And after that, we converge, we design 2 or 3 prototypes, and we go back to user. This is the power of this double diamond kind of framework. Let me share with you 2 cases. And these 2 cases, I'm pretty sure that you are a customer of one of them, right? One of them is FairPrice. So we have been working with them for a couple of years. And it is true about helping them to redesign the format of a grocery. Last time, up to now, when you go to grocery shop, FairPrice, Finance, or hypermarket, it is a little bit boring, right? There's nothing else to do. You go there, you buy quickly, you go out. But what FairPrice wanted to do is, how do we retain shoppers in the shop? How do we convert our spaces where our spaces will be fully utilized throughout the entire day? So this picture is from FairPrice Finance at Clarke Quay. If you have an opportunity to go there, you can even though rent a room here to conduct your classes, seminar. There's a food court, there's an eatery, there's a bar. The entire grocery shopping now become a lifestyle destination for people to go. And we are using design thinking. So what we have done, we went to basically recruited people, asked them basically to send us pictures of the fridge. It's called fridge ethnography. Why? We want to understand basically what they buy, from where, and what and how they store their food in the fridge. Which will allow us also to have a good sense of what is in the basket. Right? We went also to what we call conduct contextual interview observation. So contextual interview observation means we go to the shops and we truly observe them and interview them on the spot. We do also what we call shop along. So we recruited some shoppers with a shopping list and we just shadow them. Shadowing them doesn't mean we are just behind them. No, we are shadowing them from far. We want to truly look, where do we go? No, in the list, they say, look, I just want to buy 5 items. But why do you spend 1 hour? Because this person will go to here, oh, this nice promotion. Oh, I want to buy this. It truly gives us a very, very good sense about beside the shopping list and beside the fact that we just wanted to spend 15 minutes, we are spending in total maybe 1 hour because we want to discover things. So those are the true insights because you also show that shoppers want to be, so to speak, amazed, want to be surprised. And this is one of the key insights that we found out. Those are key insights. Of course, people want to have easier, faster shopping, always fresher for the fresh food is the highest sales. Don't quote me, it's about 80% of the sales. But they want basically vibrant marketplace and feel good factor. Meaning that now we want to find a place we can hang out. Last time, where do you hang out? You have to go to City Hall, Clarke Quay, Boat Quay. But now you can go to your neighborhood fair price. You can truly chill out, meet your friends, have a good drinks, have a good dinner, and so on and so forth. This is basically making full use of the spaces, but truly designing a better customer experience. Right? We get many people across the branches to ideate. So we use Post-it and so on and so forth. This is AI generated. And those are some of the results, right? Clarke Quay here. Once a month, we have this kind of fair, to basically generate basically interest and excitement. We have basically a food beverage. If you go to the one at Woodley, there's a ramen station. You can basically cook your own ramen in store. So the entire basically shopping experiences has changed because we have learned that everyday consumer want to spend time inside, want to enjoy, want to discover new things, and so on and so forth. And those are basically from the user needs. Another one is from Mitsubishi Electric. It's a large kind of a corporation and Kirin, right? So manufacturing industry. So just to give you keep kind of a overview, I know Mitsubishi Electric is well known for aircon, but we have basically different business units. We do basic equipment, precision engineering, telco. It's a super, super large organization. We have more than 140,000 kind of staff, right? And we have in Japan, which is quite unique, this is what we call Kerutsu. Kerutsu are basically a group of companies working together, but we have a different P&L, but it truly belongs to the same group of family. Why Kerutsu existed? Because after the Second War, the American government basically had dismantled all the big corporations. And Mitsubishi Electric being the largest one, they have basically broken down the entire businesses into smaller ones. So if you look at Kirin, Ineos is Petrol, Nikon, they are all from the same Mitsubishi Electric. Every week, every Friday, they meet. They share insight, they share innovation, and basically they help each other. This is the role of a Kerutsu. So for 4 years, we have been working with an integrated design center, which is not too far from Yokohama here, basically. We have around 200 staff in this center, and of course, we have around 2,000 staff in the R&D center. So for 4 years, basically, we have been working with the center to design new technology for the aging population. Okay. So what we have done, same things, discover. So we went to people's home. We went to understand basically what they eat, what are the key concerns, what do we want as a daily, and so on and so forth. We went also to have, again, contextual interview, street interview as well. We went to some area called Sugamo. Sugamo is basically the equivalent of a Chinatown, where many adults basically hang out. We went to basically interview people, shadow people, and so on and so forth. Okay. And from there, we went to define. There's so many things we can solve, but we summarize and consolidate into 5 to 10 kind of a key insights. The first one is very important because this is what we have learned from those elderly in Japan. It's basically what we call Segumate Genki, stay healthy till the end. And this is very, very powerful. So any technology that we have to develop has to help them to do that as well. Independency, autonomy, proportion, and so on. So these key themes allow us now to ideate and to truly explore different technologies, different solutions to answer to those insights. Okay? And from there, we went to prototype. Like the first picture I did share with you. And one of the prototype is this spoon. You can prototype new technology, right? So we use storyboard, right? This spoon here is using electrical shock to change the taste of the food that you drink. Why it is important? Because salt is not so good for our well-being, right? So this spoon allows people to feel very salty, but in fact by not eating salty food, right? And the sister company, Kirin, last year has launched this product. It's about $200. It's an electrical kind of. It's not painful, by the way. But when you taste something or you eat something, you'll be feeling that it's good and salty, but in fact it's not so salty, right? So, and this again is based on the insight. Okay? So, conclusion, just nice for Q&A. We are all design thinkers, to be honest with you. It's just that somehow, somewhere, we have forgotten to get to know each other. We have forgotten basically to be creative. We have forgotten to play, and we have forgotten to build things. But everything is inside us. You just need to recover this, and you are going to be a very, very marvelous design thinker. Very, very important. Okay. And of course, the last things, always user first. Not features, not process. It is always user first. Because I mean, there you design something the user wants. You have basically your business. Very, very important. Not the other way around. We don't push features, we pull, meaning we gather the needs and we develop the solutions to answer to those needs. Okay? So if you have a time, please do attend any design thinking workshop. There are so many here in Singapore, and US got through scale and so on and so forth. Do attend. There are some 1 day, there are some half a day. Half a day will be too short. 1 hour is definitely too short, but 2 days is good enough because we're going to teach you tools. And we're going to teach you basically mindset to have this divergence, this convergence. And this is very important. Okay, let's thank you so much for your attention. And I'm pretty sure all of us and all of you, you were like this when you were a kid, right? We always like to do things and start to imagine basically new scenarios, new world. And that's why the power is within. Okay, let's open for Q&A. Yeah, just nice. Any questions you may have? Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. And I think you shouldn't use the word pivot. It's basically just extend your expertise. When you do digital marketing, we always focus on the digital channel. What you can do is go beyond the digital channel and try to understand beyond basically how we use basically those channels throughout the entire day. So this is what we call mapping the entire journey. And this is how you can start to understand how we use digital channels throughout the entire day. And also try to understand basically the purpose, why. So throughout the entire process here, when we start by the discover phase, we always ask ourselves not what do we want? We don't ask this. We ask why are they using this and why not? It's by asking this question why, it will allow you to go deeper. So it will allow you to expand your understanding about your user beyond the screen, you truly understand basically the why behind it. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of data analytics about the usage, about the spending, but this is the what. It doesn't tell you basically why do we spend this amount of money? Why do they frequently use your channel and so on and so forth? So the why is missing. And design thinking allow you to uncover those why before the what. Very important. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
How can we have a mindset of doing creative thinking on a daily basis? For instance, when I was young, find 10 ways of doing or improving any item. There is some way that we can incorporate habit that we can do that daily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the question from this gentleman is basically how do we infuse or inculcate this spirit of creativity? When we're young, we have been asked all the time to how to solve this problem in 10 different ways, right? And you have already the answer. We are all creator by heart. The only thing that need to be changed is the time that you spend. And that's why for us, when we conduct a co-creation workshops, we spend a very good 45 minutes. We bring everyone into the same room and we do one workshop. And within this 45 minutes, we can truly generate 100 ideas. You don't do it once, you do it as needed. Unfortunately, companies basically they don't take this time to organize those co-creation workshops. So a lot of time what we do, hey, let's meet, let's have a quick meeting. Let's find maybe one or two solutions. For 1 hour, sorry, we have to go. Okay, let's take this idea. This is what's happening typically in any organizations. And that's why it is very important to have this structured playtime. And this is where you organize these ideation workshops. For Fair Price, for SBS Transit, we conduct quite a number of workshops for the project because it's across the entire organization. And each time is about 3 hours workshop, 45 minutes for pure ideation, and the rest to consolidate, and to consolidate. So within 3 hours, you can generate 200 ideas, but you walk away with potential 10 ideas. And it's about having this structured session to conduct ideation. So many people have this perception about to become a design thinker, have to be a creative all the time. No, you have to be creative whenever we need you to be creative. And that's why we organize those co-creation workshops. Because many people are quite scared, oh, I'm engineer trained. How can I be creative? No, we are not asking you to change yourself. We are asking you to learn certain tools to be creative during those workshops. And this is what companies are doing. It's a huge, huge difference. And that's why it's basically within the reach of everyone. Very important. It's the time and the structured time that you allocate for those ideas.
How do I use it for so that I don't always like
Okay, my first question to you, is it for you alone or is it for you and your family or your spouse? See, user-centric. Is it for you alone? Oh, you and your wife. And I believe you never consulted your wife before, right? It's only you who decide, correct? Again, it's not user-centric. So if I was you and your wife take a post-it. Okay, let's brainstorm. Where do you want to go? What is your favorite places? What do you want to eat? You write down, you paste it here. You have one post-it, two post-it, and suddenly one afternoon, you have many, many ideas. The next step, okay, let's consolidate what you want to do for this December. Which ideas truly appeal to you? This is why both of you say, hey, I like these ideas, I like these ideas, I like these ideas. Oh, you become very nice kind of a package now. You want to go to Japan, you want to eat nice sushi food, you have already your. It's just about using this structure. As if you go to any design thinking process, they're going to teach you how to use a structured ideation process to allow you to expand basically your exploration. User first. Thank you. Any more? Yeah.
structure. But you know, it's that
Yeah. Very good question. I think we're going to be out of business. So now, AI has been a very, very powerful ally for us. You know why? You know, when we start to ideate here, if I ask all of you, let's spend 45 minutes in ideations. The maximum you can come up, maybe 100 ideas, right? But now we're using AI to complement our ideations. And the same time, 5 minutes, we can get another 100, 200, 400 ideas. So we use AI to truly beef up and to basically augment our ideation process. You should use AI here, you know, when you have a lot of data. Now we use AI. So for all our interview, last time we used to transcribe everything. It was very manual. You look at the transcribe, we write it down, we do very manual custom, right? Now we use AI to do all our transcripts, right? With the transcript, we plug in into another platform. Okay, based on all those transcripts, we have sometimes 20, 30. Share with us what are the key insights, what are the key patterns across all those transcripts. We give us basically wonderful kind of a cluster, themes. And from there, we ask also AI, help us to prioritize. If we have to focus on one key one, which one? So AI has truly helped us to sharpen our mindset, augment and fine-tune and sharpen our define phase, but also help us to expand further our ideation process. But we always use AI after our human activities first. Don't do the other way around. If you do the other way around, I'm so sorry to say this, we are no longer basically needed on this planet Earth. Right? What makes us different from the rest is our creative and critical thinking. That's why my advice, always use your brain first and use AI to complement and to augment basically your decision making or your ideation. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Oh, no Zoom.
We have a couple of questions on Zoom. The first question is, are there any specific tools for doing prototyping?
Oh, I don't bring any pictures, but you have to be creative, and we have used any kind of tools to do prototyping. For Singapore Pools, they are giving us the entire floor, and we have used cardboard, just cardboard, to build a 700 square feet spaces. We use a lot of what we call cheap materials. And cheap materials are basically papers, cardboard, anything cheap. Don't start to spend time to do for those who are in the innovation space, MVP is a minimal viable product, where you start to hire engineers, designers, UX, you start to spend basically 40, 50,000. Don't do that. And that's why we use a lot of cheap materials. Papers is more than enough to go back to user, to test, to validate quickly. Once we know that this is what we want, yes, we do spend time to have a little bit more polished kind of a product. So any materials.
Yep. One more question on Zoom. So are there any suggestions on how to handle people who are resistant to change? Some may feel that status quo is good enough, or may be tired and may not want to undergo the recent changes.
Okay, I'm going to be quite rushed. When you're a kid, you know, you don't like certain kid. Okay, bye-bye, we don't want to play with you. Let's play as a, this is a very, very direct way. Now, there's another way to truly show them the benefit. So what we do is basically those people who truly say, look, it's another method. Why should I learn about design thinking? Just show them basically some of the examples. In the corporation, what we do, we create a lot of what we call a awareness talk or lunch and share. So we share basically with different divisions. Look, this is what other department has been doing. Even though in a very small scale, it works. And so slowly you change the mindset. But definitely you'll be always having one or two bad boys here. It is unfortunate, right? But if you look at the entire majority, if you look at the graph that I did share with you at the beginning, it is a necessity for you basically to acquire this exploration. Full stop. If you don't do that, this is where you are going to be in danger. So it is very about survival. Okay. Which one?
Yes.
Oh.
Those who are resisting. First, we have to find out what is the factor.
Ah. I have one solution for you. It has to come from the top. If you look at those numbers, it has to come from the top. And we have to mandate, so to speak, everyone use design thinking. Currently, we are working with Satis. Satis is and we are basically training the entire organization. It's about 1,000 people. It's almost one workshop every week. But it comes from the new CEO who said, look, Satis can't go like this for long. We will have to innovate from the bottom up. And everyone has to speak the same lingo. Everyone has to understand basically what is design thinking, because we need this critical mass to truly generate many potential innovation to survive. So at the end of the day, it has to come from the top, because this person will have the budget, and he or she can truly mandate that everyone has to learn about design thinking. Okay? He was basically asking if I need to reflect on my past experience, what I would have wished basically for people to know about design thinking. Right? And again, I would like to use these pictures again and again. It is all within us, design thinking. As a human being, we are always afraid of change. We always tend to reject change. But the only constant now in this life is change. So to me, I wish that people can still remember when you were young, how you played, how you collaborated, how you fell. Because as a kid, there's no fear of failure. We build something doesn't work, we iterate. So again, design thinking has been and will be always within us. We just have to acknowledge, hey, this is who we are. Just learn the tools, just learn how to work together, and just learn how to structure your process. It's within your power. Right? I'm teaching my kids now about design thinking, and now each time they want to ideate, we use post-it. Okay, what do we want to eat for dinner tonight? We use post-it, few ideas. Sometimes I regret, because my wife say, oh, 6 p.m., I don't have time to cook this special dish for you. Sometimes I say, but okay, this is basically the outcome of the learning, right? Thank you for this question. Any more questions? Yeah. 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 Thank you for these comments. Definitely, you can learn a lot from YouTube, from different platforms. In fact, many people have been posting a lot of things, and you can really learn from them. And to be honest with you, those have been living in Singapore for quite a number of years. Your HDB, to me, is a perfect example of well use of design thinking. Super well designed. You always have a bus stop next to you, childcare next to you, fair price next to you, playground next to you, shelter things that go to the MRT. Is very citizen-centric. And to me, I found that you are living in this environment where you can learn every day. Just observe basically how the entire city has been built. It's quite amazing. To me, this should be the best example of design thinking, because everything is super well designed. It's quite amazing. Thank you. Any more last questions? There are many courses. I'm from SMU Academy, so we do have courses from Scale and US. If you go to Skill Futures website, you can see a lot of design thinking. I think all of them are basically, all of them are good quality because it's under Skill Futures. Just pick one of them. You may not necessarily master everything in one shot, but my advice, pick up the basic mindset. Always remember these pictures and practice. Don't practice on huge and large complex projects. Start small. Like your holiday with your wife in December, right? Full stop. Just start small within your own home. I'm doing this with my kids, quite simple. Dinner, weekend, where do you want to go? Which mall do you want to go? Same thing. Dot voting. Oh, we have to rank, right? Start small, but it works because now we have learned the power of, hey, let's come together. Sometimes we have to walk so, sometimes I walk quite late. Hey, come, we need to do some kind of brainstorming. Okay, then I give you this post-it. Let's suggest where do you want to go this December. So now they're nagging us every day about where we should go in December. So we have a wall in the room full of post-it. We have Japan, we have China, we have Europe, and now we're still ideating. So again, it is a mindset, right? And it is within you. So all the courses here are basically good. Just attend, practice. It's about practice. There's no secret. It's just about practice. Start small, but you can see huge improvement over time. And again, the good news is we are all design thinkers. We have just forgotten basically how to be ourselves, how to be kids again. And during summer workshop, we truly play, like for FairPrice or CopyTM group. If you go to any new CopyTM as well, we have been working with them for a couple of years. We use Lego, 10,000 blocks of Lego to rebuild the entire basically floor. And believe it or not, when we come to our workshop, very serious, and when you see Lego on the table, are we going to play? Yeah. But within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I can guarantee you, you can hear laughter, joy. And when it starts to stop, hey, we have another idea. It's quite amazing. So when you use this kind of tool, believe it or not, you truly go back into your childhood way of thinking. And this is why it's quite amazing to see those people truly enjoying and truly working together. Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
So, how do you actually sort of find a common point between design thinking and process? And how do these actually fit in
Yeah. The only way to fit it is very about the user. You may be doing root analysis or cause analysis or process improvement. It is always about going back to the user. And design thinking, not in full, can truly complement. I give you an example about process engineering on certain manufacturing. Of course, as an engineer like yourself, for example, you can observe how people do task by task, step by step, right? But when you start to use this empathy method, you start to go beyond the day-to-day life. You start to ask the question, hey, what do you do after work or before? And you start to learn that, oh, this person has financial issue, or may have a trouble, or we have a lot of things in their mind. In the factory line, this person basically is not focused. So it will allow you to expand your knowledge about the user and to try to understand what is the real root cause. Because it may not be necessarily a process per se. It may be something that affects the cognitive way of these workers. So empathy allows you to basically to think a bigger scale. That's why it can truly complement your typical process. The healthcare sectors are the only one who truly combine, those process engineering, data way, and so on and so forth, with design thinking. Process is super important in the hospital, definitely. But the empathy allows them to truly understand the user in context. And this is a very powerful basically combination. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
First thing, be kids, please.
Thank you very much for your insightful
Thank you.
sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we link for feedback as well. If you could scan the QR code here to share your feedback with us on the session, that'd be very wonderful. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us at NUS and enjoy the Skills Future Festival. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. All the best.